Let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot of new faces. We'd love to introduce those that are new. But first, let's start with the hymn. We're going to sing the first verse of Teach Me to Walk in the Light. And then Amen. Where are you? Would you want to say the opening prayer? Awesome. Didn't have to resolve a concern. That's a blessing.
Be harder.
Okay. Demonstrate something right now. Okay. All right. Let's. What number is that, Elise? 304. Oh, that's what I said. 304, first verse. Amen. Thank you. All right. We're going to start with a few brief intros. We have, thank goodness, some Spanish teachers that have been so helpful this past few days and weeks. And I'd like to have them introduce themselves briefly. Just name, where you served, one thing you learned last week teaching English. I don't know. I learned a lot last week. Okay, so we'll start over here with James, and we'll go down the line, and then I'm trying to think, is there anyone else new that hasn't introduced themselves? That's it. Okay, James.
My name is James Moss. I served in Honduras, and I've been teaching here since April of 2012. And I learned once again that mission, it's a reflection of your life and things that you learn on your mission, and as a missionary really do have an impact on how we are and who we are in the rest of our lives.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
My name is Mark. Still, it's Mark Woodbury. I served in Tampico, Mexico, like the juice, and the Jews. Sorry. And during last week, I learned a lot about what it means to teach to needs, mostly because of the training we had last week. But I've really been blessed by that training and learned so much about what that means. That's great.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm Jake Thompson. I served in Monterrey, Mexico, right above Mark. And teaching English is hard. It's not Spanish, and so it was definitely a transition. But thing that I've realized as I've taught these missionaries is just being able to teach in a different language, the same material, missionary work, and trying to provide the same spirit just brings to mind the transcendency of the Spirit and how, regardless of what language you speak, the Spirit can be felt just as strongly in a way as it is the language that transcends all the others.
Well, I'm so happy to be back with you. I heard Darwin's training, as Mark said, it was just so helpful. I went to he trained Jake Reese's teachers a few days later. He invited me. I would agree. Very helpful. Very helpful training. John, would you mind being my quick person? Got a few slides, a few announcements, and then we'll get with the training, okay? We are going to have an area activity. It'll be 2 weeks from today. I know Tuesday night's a little bit weird, but there are no shifts on Tuesday night. So Allie Harrison has graciously agreed to allow us to come over to her place for, we're going to watch a movie. There's a basketball court, there's badminton, I guess. And so we're just gonna have some fun. What was that?
Is your son gonna be there?
Oh, if I'm gonna be there, my baby's gonna be there.
Yeah. You add that to the activities plan.
I should have added that in the description.
I think you're gonna have to delete everything.
Exactly. We'll pass around like a food sign-up sheet next week. We'll have you bring something and like potluck. Set it in your calendar. 2 weeks from today, right after you're done with your meetings. Okay, probably around 8-ish. All right, next slide. Okay, this first one. Darrell loves you guys, just so you know. So I met with him this morning, and he just expressed to me how much he wants to get in your classrooms. And being one of his coordinators, I said, you know what, Darrell? I'm going to say it right now. I have a goal. I'm going to make it an area goal for us to try to get Darrell in all of our classrooms. So I hope it's okay if I impose a goal on our area for a second. I would invite you to go to the Google Doc that is in that Google folder, meeting with Darrell, and look for openings that will match up with your schedule to have him come in. And he is willing and happy to do whatever you'd like him to do. I have him come in and observe me sometimes to give me feedback. His feedback is way helpful. I've also had him come in and just taught him. Whatever, similar to what I do. You can have him do whatever you need him to do to help you out. Okay. Jake.
So who is there?
He's my manager, so he's my boss.
Okay.
I'm guessing Heather Porter, no, Garrett Beeson.
It's Garrett Beeson.
Garrett Beeson, same type of level.
Okay.
He trained last week, but he's the guy that is my boss.
Okay.
Good question. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, will you all do that? Is that a goal? Oh, Jordan's got a question before he commits. Yes.
So where the late shift,
Ah.
the 6:15 and 9:15,
Right.
does he stick around for that?
That's a good question. I would email him directly if you're in that spot, if you don't have any information. So, okay, so with that, will you all, I hate to say try, because we don't like investigators to try to pray. We want them to pray, right? But will you try to get Darrell in your class?
Yes.
Good, awesome. This next bullet point, it's pretty apparent. We've got a lot of districts. In fact, so many that I'm picking up tomorrow with Ammon. I'm pretty excited about that. That'll be fun. And so with that in mind, I just want to make it clear, if you don't know already, with a lot of districts and a lot of teachers teaching, there aren't a lot of teachers available to sub right now. So with that in mind, try to really follow that part of the stewardship document to limit the time you take off. You kind of have to. But if you do need a sub, please let me know as soon as possible. The sooner the better. If you do need a sub, because I can try to help. But yeah, that's just for your information. It's gonna be hard to get subs. One thing I would invite you to do, if you do need a sub, the best place, if you don't already know it, zone meeting is a good chance to kind of bounce out, let people know, take a portion of zone meeting to try and coordinate subs within the zone. Any questions about that? Next slide. Okay, so before we get to training, we just want to do our little weekly policy reminder that we're going to do every week. Jordan, could I have read what it says in the stewardship document? This is one that I know as a teacher, I didn't know this was the expectation. So if you're not doing this, don't feel bad. This is just something moving forward I would like us to do. Because it's in the stewardship document. So Jordan, go ahead and read what's in bold.
Yeah, teachers must give substitutes a specific, mission-focused lesson plan. The training coordinator will approve this plan.
Manti, you are a great example. I hope it's okay that I. So Manti has been doing this. He simply emails his sub and CCs me, and then what do I do, Manti? I just simply say, I approve. That's it. And I don't ask much, as Manti showed. He just shows what's being taught, and then a specific missionary need at the bottom of advancement committee might need a little bit of coaching, and then I approve it. This just helps us to better coordinate, better be prepared for the subs. So that's what I would expect of you as a training coordinator, is when you do need a sub, go ahead and follow this policy and send a missionary specific lesson. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, let's get to training, okay? John, next slide. All right. I just felt impressed to do a Book of Mormon. So let's get out of the Book of Mormon. I hope this is for you, okay? I hope you get something out of this. As well, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a Book of Mormon reading, so maybe this will give you some ideas for how to make a purpose-centered Book of Mormon reading. So as it says there, we're going to read down to 32. I have had a question on my mind, maybe explain what we're going to get out of this. I've had a question that's been just keep surfacing to the top of my mind throughout the last probably 2 or 3 weeks. And here's the question. I'm going to have you discuss it with someone next to you. This goes right back to our purpose. How is faith strengthened? If that's our goal, if that's our purpose, how is faith strengthened? Discuss with the person next to you just some thoughts. Go. Take a minute. And then you have more. Yeah, it's just very. So we have spiraling feelings, assurance, action, for sure that God has a promise. Yeah, doing things social change was real.
Or like I was like trying to do.
Okay. I want to just have a minute just to bounce some ideas off each other. Now I'm going to ask you to be pretty open with the person you're with, okay? I want you to be transparent. What do you need greater faith for in your life right now? Discuss. And I know we're going to be putting our hearts out in the open, right? What in your life do you need greater faith for? I'll let you say. I'll let you say. I don't want to complicate it too much. I'll let you say. I do need more faith.
I think they need greater faith.
So how do you do
Take 30 seconds to wrap up this further discussion. Okay. Okay. I heard marriage. I think that's a wonderful thing. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back for just a second. Need your attention up here. I'm going to be transparent with you, since I asked you to be transparent with each other. I don't know about you, maybe you feel this way. I just feel like the past several years of my life, I felt this way. I have a lot on my plate, probably like you do, right? And I feel like sometimes the weight of it, I feel like, I was telling someone yesterday, you know the Atlas, the Greek guy with the world on his back? I'm sure you and I, at some point in our life, feel like that. At some points the past few weeks, I felt like that. I felt like with all the responsibilities of a dad, training coordinator, college forum president, just living, being a student in a few months, few weeks, we kind of got a world on our back, so to speak, right? So I just need greater faith that it's going to work out, and that we can do it, that I can manage it all and manage it well. So I hope something came to your mind that you hope God can give you greater faith for. We're going to read now with that in mind. Hopefully get some revelation, get some answers. Okay? So we're going to read together. And no, you know what? Actually, I'm going to have you read in your two steps. Mark Jarman did something similar with us a few weeks ago. He had us read in our groups. Okay? So go ahead. You're going to begin in verse 26. And I would invite you to stop and discuss how is these verses helping strengthen your faith for whatever you need greater faith. Go. Discuss. Read and discuss. Oh, 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Anything that applies to me in
Yeah.
Thank you.
But he's also
Okay, I'm gonna stop you. I'm sorry. I'd invite you right now to write down what is God trying to communicate to you through these verses. Write down any promise you receive as a result of the doctrine. Or if you have a smartphone, you can write it there too. Just give you just about a minute to write down your thoughts. How about your last sentence? Okay. I would love to hear just a few comments, if you'd be willing to share. What have you learned? Joanna?
I just like how it's so sure that if you will plant the seed and nourish it, the tree will grow. And then it's equally as sure that if you don't take care of the tree, it will die. And so, based on my personal struggles right now, I just feel like God is going to tell me, like, hey, quit being prideful. You need to take care of the tree because it will die if you don't step up your game.
And Angie mentioned Elder Holland's line, fan the flame of your faith. Marissa?
Me and John were both talking about like the questions that we have in our life right now about our career and about like decisions we need to make in dating and stuff like that. Like, are we on the right path in life? Sorry.
No. I was like, what are you saying?
Like we're realizing as we're acting on things, we can't expect a perfect knowledge. Because even after Alma explains, this is where you're going to feel there's going to be a smile within your breast and that you'll be enlightened and all those different things. Then right after that he even says, but there's not ever going to be perfect knowledge. Don't expect that, but your faith will grow.
And that's what's so frustrating is that that's where our desire is. Like, just give us the perfect knowledge.
I wish we could start with
That's,
perfect knowledge.
yeah, that's just what we want. But it's interesting that Alma validates that, like, look, like, I know that that's your desire, that that's what you're gonna want, but you're not gonna get it. So, like, that's why you need faith, like.
One day we'll have a perfect knowledge.
Yeah,
Our faith
yeah.
will be dormant. And maybe in some things we might have a knowledge of.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in a lot of things, we've just got to take a step of faith and expect to not have it. Jordan.
Jessica and I were talking, and Jessica mentioned a talk by McConkie, who's a McConkie, that states how if God's plan is intentional, that faith is an intentional part of God's plan. We wanted to become like God, and that's what He gave us to become like Him. And sometimes we feel like we run away from the thing that's going to make us feel like our Heavenly Father. It's like we don't want to take the medicine that's going to heal us.
Because we think, why? There isn't one. Always.
For me, it's thinking about that kind of personality of, if I need to get something done, I kind of just put my head down and just go forward until it's done. Which can be good in like a work ethic sense, but sometimes isn't always very positive in the extreme in like being happy. My sister's always like, "Hannah, remember you're a human being, not just a human doing." So like, remember to
Hey, that's well said.
and so I think, but especially like the last 3 verses of this have been really meaningful to me as he repeats over and over again with faith, patience, and diligence, looking forward to the fruit thereof. And so I think about that as sometimes I'm just like just like get it done. That he wants us to be happy, that we have faith. I think faith, a related principle with that is joy, is hope, right? And so as we do that with diligence and not running faster than we have strength, but just continuing on, then we'll see the fruit thereof. And there's kind of a cross reference in the next chapter that part of the fruit is the birds that we like. We'll work out, we'll be okay.
Right. Take one more, please.
I think just as I read that chapter, I've had some friends come to me lately talking about really fairly severe lifestyle issues at this moment in time that lead to issues like worthiness and stuff. And I sort of felt like this weird fear because I know how good these people are and how I can see how they've fallen, and it's been like this slippery slope. And I think that as I read, I recognized that faith really is a decision, and it's being committed, it's being an agent. And I think that that's such a blessing as well. There are a lot of prophecies saying that the very elect will be deceived, but as we choose diligently and consistently the small good things, then the tree will grow.
What does L. Whitney Clayton say? Choose to believe.
And I think that choosing to believe is choosing to act.
Thank you. I felt the spirit from your comments. I learned from you. So, I don't know, here you are. Maybe you got something, right? And here's a missionary. Based on what you learned about receiving revelation through the Book of Mormon, how is that going to help you help others? Discuss with your companions, in your groups. How is what you learned just in this little process right here going to help you help others to receive revelation? Go, discuss. Okay. After your discussion? Okay. Thank you for your participation just in that whole activity. I just want to testify that the Book of Mormon is true. Boyd K. Packer, you know this quote well. True doctrine understood changes attitudes and behavior. A study of the doctrines of the gospel will improve behavior quicker than a study of behavior will improve behavior. I have realized, I had this aha moment one day. I'll say that quote again, but a little differently, and you tell me if it works. The Book of Mormon understood changes attitudes and behavior. The study of the Book of Mormon will improve behavior quicker than a study of behavior. Does that work? I think that's true. I testify that that is true. Okay, well, let's move on. let's go to what we had just planned for, to discuss the plan, study, teach cycle. Maybe a little context. I had the dream to go out on a mission visit last week to John Bennett's mission. Some of his fellow missionaries that he served with were there that I served with for a day. And we had awesome times. They are great missionaries. Great missionaries. Now I was supposed to come in and I wasn't supposed to take over. I was just supposed to observe and see if there was anything that might help me train better. And I will say there wasn't much because these missionaries were fabulous. I was expecting maybe, honestly, a little bit less than what I saw. I saw amazing things. But there were a few things, of course, for improvement. I came away thinking the small portions of the curriculum that we have to focus on planning and studying the plans of the teach cycle is something I think we can really emphasize and really focus on.
I just wanted to ask, what kind of missionaries were you with? Were you with
Good.
really new missionaries?
I was with pair zone leaders my first day, and then my second day a former zone leader, and we've been out about a year. Another missionary. So, yeah, that's crazy. So with that in mind, go with me. If you go with me to your blue manuals, I'm actually going to focus on study and prepare to teach today. So it's in the orange section. What page is that on? 66? 56? 56. Red manuals. I'm sorry. I can't. It's somewhere in there.
Unacceptable.
Okay, study and prepare to teach. I'm going to skip the explained portion, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate for us with Alex. I'm going to take the lead, but Alex is just going to help if you come up, Alex. And we're going to I'm going to demonstrate how you might conduct this activity. Okay, so let's just say we just got done with the explained portion. And here we go. Before we go, could I have someone read the objective? Dick.
Help missionaries learn how to plan, study, and prepare to teach in this institution.
Good. You notice a difference from study and prepare to teach for the first semester year. Just before we start, is there anyone that could share with us the difference of the objective between those two? John?
The study or prepare to teach your first investigators to help them experience the concept each one,
Right.
and then study and prepare to teach is to help them learn how to constantly teach.
So it goes along with the expectations that are in the first few pages. Those first few days, missionaries are pretty overwhelmed as it is. So you just focus and prepare to teach the first investigator on the why. You get a focus on their purpose, you help them experience it. But I'm not correcting them, I'm not demonstrating a whole lot that first Thursday. Saturday, all I'm doing is demonstrating and giving some feedback as we go along. So with that in mind, we just got done with the explained portion of this, and you're just going to be yourselves, you're not going to be missionaries, but we're going to go through the plan, study, teach. Here we go. Brother Barton and I just got done teaching the investigator Paul, and it went semi-well, okay? Maybe just a brief background. Could you just tell us how the first lesson, this is our first lesson, with Paul went? Just a 30-second synopsis.
You and I just finished.
Yeah, you just finished teaching.
It went pretty good. Like, we feel like Paul has a desire to learn more about the gospel, but I felt like we struggled a little bit to explain things in a
we'll talk more in just a second, okay? Maybe just, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I had a video, but the internet's not working, so that's, we're gonna have to work with that, okay? In your companionships, go ahead and create a scenario of you just got done teaching, okay? Discuss an investigator, I just want you to make something up. And discuss
missionaries.
as yourselves.
As ourselves.
You just got done teaching some investigator, and just take a minute to discuss the scenario. I would have a scenario for you. So go ahead and discuss the person, how the first lesson went, and just create a scenario. Okay? Take a minute. Okay. Take 30 seconds, kind of wrap up your scenario. Or wrap it up now. Okay. Okay, we all have a scenario, all have an investigator. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, I am going with Brother Bart. We're going to demonstrate and then give you a chance to practice going from, you just taught a lesson, going through the plan, study, teach cycle. I would invite you to have ready, preach my gospel, if you have a smartphone, nice. Preach my gospel ready. And for this first practice, it's actually in the Gospel Library app. It's the green manual, the missionary green manual. If you have that, grab it. If you don't, go to it on the Gospel Library app. I'm going to use that for this first demo. In fact, I'm going to turn, if you have it, go to page 32 of the green manual. It's under missionary. It's right at the bottom. Okay, so we're on page 32. Here we go. We just got done with Paul, and the scenario, this first practice, we're going to demonstrate and have you practice an evaluation, really the first portion of the plan. Here we go. Okay, we just got it. Whew, wow, that was awesome. What were some initial thoughts, just leaving that appointment, about Paul?
Seems like a way cool guy.
Yeah.
Just like super humble. I think he wants what we have to teach him. I'm not sure if I have like a really good sense yet of like what his challenges are that might get in the way, but
Right. Is there
he seems like
anything?
we'll impact on faith.
Oh, I agree. No, I was going to ask, was there anything maybe you felt from the Spirit? I mean, I feel like I didn't get too much out of him or like know too much about him, but was there anything you felt from the Spirit that taught us about Paul?
Well, he just mentioned that he had moved out to Utah in part because he was looking for like a new life, wanted to kind of get a new start here. So, but it felt like he wasn't even really sure why he was here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to just be like, well, we can answer, but I think, you know, we can help him see that the gospel is what will help him build faith or find whatever it is that he's looking for. So, I don't know, what were you thinking?
I just thought when he prayed at the end, that's when I felt the Spirit.
Yeah.
You know. I think that was evidence too that his faith was growing. You know. I felt really bad. I didn't invite him to be baptized, and I think there's evidence that maybe he would have prepared for it. You know.
That's
So.
funny, because I was kind of thinking I should do the same thing.
Really?
I was just like, well, I don't know, it's always intimidating because you never know what they're going to say, but.
Right. So maybe what we could do is if you're okay with this, we could make it a goal in the next lesson. We'll plot our planners. Maybe make a goal in the next lesson to invite him.
Sounds like a good idea. I mean, if we both felt that, it seems like a pretty good plan.
Well, maybe we'll talk more at our planning session tonight about him and what he needs. Anything else in particular that we feel, maybe it's anything we could study that would help him?
Maybe we could just